everybody. Thanks for watching Access Hockey MI. We come to you post-draft, post-expansion draft, and with a whole host of great news and just joy for the coming season and seasons. So first things first, we want to say congratulations to 3 Muskegon Lumberjacks players who were drafted in the 2021, I was doing so well, NHL draft. That would be Hank Kempf, Cam Berg, and Alex Gagne. We're so proud of you.
Congrats,
they
guys.
don't know us personally, but we watched you all season and for
So
seasons.
proud. We saw it coming.
And all the USHL players, because we told you they're amazing.
4th season consecutively, they had 50 or more USHL players drafted.
Watch them.
We've been telling you for almost 6 years now, guys.
And the Chicago Steel had a lot of guys drafted, almost as many, if not tied, with the U18s of the USHL. Well, the Team U18. We've explained this before. There's tears.
It's really exciting.
It's great. So congratulations to them and of course, all the guys who are drafted. Big congrats to all of you.
Yep.
Today we're going to talk about Simon Edvinsson. Like we said last week, there's so much to talk about in the coming weeks. So today we're going to focus on Edvinsson just because he was just drafted, our first pick. And then next week we're going to go into kind of like what happened during the expansion draft, also what happened with some signings and some trades, free agency. We've got a lot to go through. So today we're going to focus just on Simon Edvinsson, and that's what we're going to do today. So let's go.
I feel like whenever she's talking, I'm like bobbleheaded over here. 100% agreeing the whole time. Anyway, so Simon, 6'4", 198 to 203 pounds. He's a big kid. And
Large, 18.
Yeah. I was not that large.
And as a side note, the Red Wings they drafted one person underneath 6 foot, and he was 5'11", and that was Red
We'll
Savage.
get to why that's important in a minute here.
Yes, we're getting there.
So last season, he spent a kind of a jumbled amount of time with several different teams because of the pandemic, yada, yada, yada.
Blech.
So he was with the Frölunda HCJ20s, which is their junior 20 and under team, and he ended up finishing out the season with a team in the Allsvenskan, which is like their version of the AHL. So through the 2020-21 season, he hopped around a little bit. Wasn't little boink. I don't know what boink is, but there it is. We make up words on here. So he hopped around a little bit, and so he wasn't super consistent with point production. However, his minutes were consistent, so he was getting really good ice time. I want to say it was an average of like 20 minutes.
And
which
Steve Yzerman did say that he needs work in the offensive area, but he is a defenseman. So to have his D game on point is why he was drafted. The offensive comes with time.
It's almost like one player was exposed in the expansion draft. It's crazy.
Which we'll talk about next week. After watching the plays this kid makes and after watching some footage on him, I'm so sorry we didn't talk about him sooner. And whoever commented saying, what about Edvinsson? You were right. We were wrong. You should do videos.
We were only off by one pick, though, because Ekman got drafted next, so...
It's true.
We're only partially
San Jose. But you know what? He's a big defenseman, and it turns out, I can see it. We need that. We need everything, but that's important, too. So one thing about Edvinsson is his skating and puck protection. This kid, for being so large, is such a smooth, quick skater, and so tricky when he skates, too.
Yeah.
He protects that puck like it's his job. Because it is, you know. So that would be my first
that is your job, young man.
favorite thing would be his skating ability. It's incredible.
The puck protection, one thing I did notice, too, is that, and I was actually telling you this off camera, too.
It's true. I can attest to that.
This is only a small synopsis of what we actually talk about, guys. So with the puck
we just
protection...
turned the camera on.
Right? We're going to have coffee next time.
Yeah.
With the puck protection, he uses one arm a lot. And I don't know if it was just me hyper-focusing on kind of like the little niche-y things, but it seemed like with his body placement and how he uses his body, he was able to free up that one arm. And he can do a lot of handling with one arm, which I think is really impressive, not only for your balance and equilibrium, but to have the same skill and to be able to perform the movement with one half of your body. Yeah. That's pretty impressive. So go you, kid.
Go you. Keep it up.
I can barely hold a stick with one arm.
So like I was saying, the offense will come, and Yzerman and co are very encouraged by that. It'll come. And like we said previously, him jumping around so often, it really makes it harder to garner those points. But what you don't see is, of course, the assists, like primary and other assists, and as well as what he does to keep pucks in the zone, to get pucks deep. It's all those...
It's the non-quantifiable stuff.
Yes, it's all those little things that the people who are drafting look at, and it's not always coming out in points. So don't be discouraged if you're like, well, he's not a point producer. Hey, guess what? We have forwards for that, okay? And he'll get there. I have no doubt he'll get there.
For sure.
Because this kid is already a star.
Right.
I'm gushing. It's fine.
It's okay. Gushing is good. We're
So
excited.
I'll lead into the body positioning just because one thing I noticed in the replay of some of the things that he did in the last season was that he keeps a lot of space in between him and the boards. So you see a lot of guys when they're puck protecting, they use the boards to help with that. He keeps a lot of space in between the boards, and I think that's because the guys who are trying to get the puck away from him they also use the boards to do that.
Right.
So to kind of take away the space from them and to commandeer and kind of make them play to his level, I think that's one of the things that he does in his defensive.
I think that kind of rolls into what they were saying too, and what I've been reading about his hockey IQ.
Yeah.
Just having that knowledge of not only making them play to his level, but also controlling the game.
Yes.
Where that puck is 100% in his control, and the intentionality of actually having to have that gap between the boards when you're getting pushed up against him.
Right.
That's a lot of strength, but a lot of, I think, really good forethought.
Yeah.
And as far as the offensive thing too, and that style of play, that's all going to get honed in a little bit more over the next season. He's with Frölunda HC again, so he's going to be playing at an adult level, so we'll see if those kind of things can really be to his advantage and how he can make it work for
we'll
him.
see how consistency helps with point production, learning against some of the pros that are in Frölunda right now. And I think that's going to be really... We're always a fan of them getting some more time in the Swedish League because the Swedish League is really good for that and just for getting them ready for...
If the Swedish League needs some help, let us know. We would be happy
We're open to that.
Yeah, for sure.
So all this, in conclusion, reminds me a lot of Moritz Seider. And she's excited. You can just tell it already. And if
I'm not bobbleheading. I'm just
you've watched Moritz Seider play and you've watched some highlights of Edvinsson, which I encourage you to do, there are quite a bit on these higher picks. Some sites or some people on YouTube do a really good job of getting.
You don't have to go
together.
to bootleg sites so often.
So you can get a really nice comprised video of all these different plays that they make. So in watching those, he reminds me a lot of Seider, and I can only imagine a pairing of Seider and Edvinsson one day would be dreamy.
Cool. That would be cool.
So much skill because I feel like how he protects the puck, how he moves around, how he uses his feet and his arms, and I mean, you guys know how
Could you
he
imagine
plays hockey.
2 6'4" guys coming at you? Like,
skillfully. See, what Rachel was telling me, again off camera, is that Yzerman, of course, what we see in this draft is he's drafting big guys, but also guys who are skillful to match. Because you don't want a bunch of guys who just lumber around and can't actually control themselves or do a good job around all the nimble forwards. You know what I mean? Because they're not all that way. But if he can get that all together and he's already starting ahead like that, him and Seider, I think, will be
just the development process will
amazing.
Be a breeze if he keeps it up. But with that type of pairing, it kind of goes into he's going to need a little time. Obviously, he's 18 years old. Stranger things have happened where they just place him in the NHL, not in Detroit, but Jack Hughes. Exactly.
That was
Congrats to his little brother. So that's cool too.
Same team.
Lots of brothers this season. That's just fantastic. I love it. But not with us. We don't need any more.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a couple seasons to kind of get into that position where he can be with a Seider or a Mark Stahl or the kind of the Seider isn't a veteran player but he plays like he is.
Well, by the time Edvinsson comes up, he will have years. I'm assuming in the NHL under his belt.
Right, ideally, Steve. He didn't listen to our other advice, but this is cool.
That's fine.
But that kind of it puts into, I guess, really, really basic line of what Steve's plan is. And we said in the last video that Steve has picks and cap space to play with. He ended up trading several picks to get this. So we weren't kidding when he said that he was willing to give that up, which he was. It came at a cost, but he obviously has faith.
Well, he didn't trade to get 6th pick.
No. I mean,
he traded to get someone we're going to talk about probably next week.
No.
A goaltender, I like watching the draft. We're kind of rambling now.
Yeah, that's okay.
I like watching the draft because you see the plan behind the draft.
They never do what you expect them to do because they don't watch the media.
No, they don't.
They watch their guys.
They know the team. They know what they need, and that's why it's so cool. They trade 3 picks to get the goaltender Casa, I think is his name.
Cosa, yeah.
And Casa, Mikasa, Cosa. Who knows?
Our Casa.
Anyway, we'll keep going.
But Steve is creating a big and high skill team, just like Janae alluded to, where in the next couple seasons, we've almost completely unloaded a lot of these really heavy picks and contracts and things like that. Our prospect list is ridiculous. Very high skilled, a lot of them very large. And
a lot of
you're
them
going to see in the next 2 or 3 seasons an incredibly fast Red Wings team. A lot of them are Swedish, yeah. And so that's just, this draft in and of itself and this pick is kind of like a prelude to all of that.
Yeah.
Where we always knew it was going on, and I think a lot of people knew that that's kind of what Steve is going for. But I think this really solidifies it. Where in Edvinsson, you're seeing 2-3 seasons from now, he's going to be that big D that we need on the line. We're going to have a young team.
Yeah,
and it's really exciting to see.
It's very exciting to see. So basically, that's our regurgitation of what we think of Simon Edvinsson.
With a few bunny trails in
with
there.
a lot of bunny trails.
That's cool.
Thanks so much for watching. Let us know in the comments what you think of our first pick in the first round of the 2021 Entry Draft. And like we said, we're going to have so much news coming to you in the next few weeks. Of course, we're going to go over all of the drafts that we got.
Buckle in, kids.
We're going to go over the expansion draft, how that affected us. We're going to go over some of the trades that we make, whatever the free agents look like. So keep an eye on the channel. This is where it starts to get really busy for hockey stuff, and it's already gotten really busy.
And as we know about the prospect
off-season's
done. Well, prospect tournament coming up too. We're going to be getting a lot of content while we're there. We are so excited, but so keep an eye out for that too.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments again what you think. And again, sorry everybody who loved Edvinsson before we even talked about him. Again, you should do these videos, and we should watch you. Good job, guys.
We're just going to read the comments. I'll just get the computer and just read the comments.
That's a great idea.
That's scary.
Anyway, so we will see you guys next time, and thanks again so much for watching. Bye, guys.